Hey, everybody. How are you
Hello.
doing on this Monday? I never know where to look on my laptop, Laurel. Is it this little dot up here?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
I have been in Oklahoma all weekend with my daughter, and I'm leaving in about 30 minutes, and I think she's really happy about that.
No.
Oh my gosh, we're a little punchy because she actually made me get up this morning. Oh, hey, Brittany, Tara, how are you? Hey, Marianne, how are you? She made me get up and do this boot camp workout. I'll post pictures later. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I love her.
You did great.
I did great. Actually, I crushed it.
No, here's a good inspirational quote for your Monday. Something's only as bad as you're going to make it. She was real grumpy on the way there, and then after we left, she was in a great mood, and I was like, I told you it was
Because I crushed
great.
it.
Well, you went into it with a bad attitude, so it's only
I did not. I'm always
good.
positive, you guys. I'm always positive. So, Laurel and I are a lot alike in some ways and very different in other ways. One of those ways is how we like to work out. She likes the push the weight and tire across the ground kind of thing, and I'm more the Pilates Zumba kind of girl. So
yeah, but just they have like fun music and everyone's encourage,ing, and at Pilates it's like move your leg down. Like it's too calm.
Oh, sorry. So we're a little punchy now, but so we're hopping on a little early today. Normally I do this at 5 o'clock Arizona time, but I am in Oklahoma, so it's big shift in time. So a couple things. Laurel and I actually got copies, one each. We don't have a bunch yet, you guys. Sent to me the day before I got here. And so here's our book in our hands. Yay. Woo-hoo. We're so excited.
In the back.
Yes, and the back cover. We haven't shown the back cover yet. So this is our lovely family on a trip we took to St. Thomas years ago. It was so blazing hot. I remember that day. My husband was dying.
But yeah. I think we already showed this part, but
yeah, so
side looks cool.
The book is hot off the presses and more coming. And as we've mentioned to you guys many times, some of you guys keep asking, where can I get the book? Where can I get the book? You cannot order the book until 11/11/19 when we do the first of our 4-city book launch tour in Arizona. So for those of you who are in Arizona or you want to come to Arizona in November because it's beautiful there, then you might want to hop on out because it's going to be a big, beautiful event. And that's where we will that will be the day the book sales will happen. All right. So after that, we're going on a 4-city tour. So we go to, where do we go next?
Well, we start in Arizona at that book launch, and then we'll go to Denver the next week.
The next Monday. Monday.
The 18th of November.
Yes.
And then we'll do a day here in Oklahoma. So for me, it's not really travel, but we'll just do an event here in Oklahoma. And then
on December 2nd, we'll be Oklahoma City. And then the last one we believe we're going to be doing is the following Monday on December 9th in California. So if you are in any of those areas, you guys be watching the Facebook events. The one for November 11th is already out, and you can start registering right now. And that's when we will have books available for you to get on site, or you can just start ordering that day. But we're getting ready to go on a 4-city book tour. It's pretty exciting. So I thought that we'd tell you guys a little bit more about what's inside the book. So Laurel, do you want to just kind of tell them some of the chapter titles that I think some of you guys will be interested in? So if you remember, we've been telling you guys we wrote this book about our life story. We've lost both my husband and my son to suicide in the past 5 years, 3 years apart. And we tell the story about what happened very briefly in the introduction, but it's 11 chapters of some things that we've learned along the journey that we hope will help other people going through their own adversity and for people who are helping other people going through adversity. So I thought Laurel would just kind of share some of the chapter titles.
Yeah. I know we've talked about this before too, but the layout of the book, we went back and forth with a lot because typically it's hard to have 2 voices or 2 author voices. Very common is for a book to only have 1 voice. So we ended up mapping out each chapter to have it kind of an intro paragraph. And then it's from my mom's perspective, my perspective. And then at the end of each chapter has some reflections and questions. So this is good to know. I actually had someone reach out to me that runs a grief counseling group. And she was like, would this be a good group to work through? And that was actually a big purpose for the questions at the end, was for people to work through it on their own, but also as groups. So it's great if you're in a group or just want to work through it as a family. But we just wanted people to kind of take what we said and then ask themselves those questions to put themselves in that perspective.
Right.
But we start the book with a chapter called Leaving Planet Normal. So this was kind of the chapter that we talk about how our idea of normal shifted really 2 times, but initially when my dad passed away, of how that shifted what normal was to us. And then we kind of go through like the shock and exhaustion that I'm sure so many people will relate to, of all of that comes right after a tragedy. Very, very exhausting, and just trying to work through so much. And kind of go through, talking about really becoming a story and what that looks like when you have such a crazy story, I guess a lot of people know about, and what that seems like to have that situation.
Basically, you become the story, especially if it becomes public, and especially if it's tragic. So we talk a lot about what that looks like. And then I think there's another chapter on how our identity shifted, and we had to work through identity shifts. And what's a couple others?
Owning your story. I mean, that one kind of goes hand in hand. We talk about that later. It's very much a progression in the book, which was obviously on purpose too, but talking about the story to give people an intro and really what came after that for us, and kind of progress through the book with that. But there's that progression of becoming a story where people hear about your story or talk about it, and not necessarily in a bad way. It's just, when tragic things happen, people know about it and hear about it. But then from our side, really owning that story and figuring out how we can use that in an impactful way. So again, we tried to really just create a positive progression. And then we've talked about this too, though, but we wrapped the book up with a chapter called Finding Heaven on Earth. So we really wanted to wrap it up in a positive way of talking about how we have used our faith to heal through it, and that using that as our main perspective, and also ways that we've seen God very present in a lot of times that people maybe aren't seeking God or not quite understanding where he is in all of that. So we kind of wrap up all the tougher chapters that are important, but with some positive stuff too.
Yeah, so we shared, like Laurel said, both of our perspectives, because, even though we were going through it at the same time, obviously because of the relationships with my husband's son, her father, brother, there was that. And then also our ages, we went through different things because of my age, Laurel's age. And so the title of the book, Keep Looking Up, is because of the last chapter. We want to help people understand that, and I wrote this yesterday in the Sunday reflection, that, no matter how many people we had around us loving on us, some of the counseling that Laurel and I did, and internal work we did, that, the only thing that's gotten us through is that we have a much bigger perspective. And we hope that overall becomes the biggest mission behind this book, because people need to understand that this world is very temporary, and that, with the right faith, we will all be together again. And that's what gets us through every day. So we're very, very excited about this book launch, this book tour. We hope that you all will plan to attend one of the book launches. Definitely plan to order at least one or maybe multiple books on 11/11. This would be a great, like I said, like Laurel said, a great, it's like for book clubs. That's the word I'm looking for. So the other piece of this, of course, is that we've learned a lot about, what's going on with so many people in this world today with regards to specifically with our adversity of suicide, what's happening there. And I mentioned this yesterday in the Sunday reflection, that there are multiple reasons that somebody gets to a point where they end their life. I don't believe it is just one thing. And one of the things that I've come to know is that I think we've got some real problems with people not knowing what their true purpose is, what their true identity is, and what they're called to do while they're here on this planet, which is why this year I created the Do It On Purpose movement. And what I'm launching next Monday, this 30th, is a program that I'm right now calling Vision is Victory Academy. Viv Academy is going to be a pilot program, and it's going to go for 6 weeks. I'm going to do a once-a-week live call every Monday evening. And it is targeted towards young adults about Laurel's age, because I know that most of them right now are really, really struggling with who they are, what their purpose is while they're here, how do they create a vision for their life that they can follow. I know this because I talked to most of them and did some informal research throughout the summer. And we continue to do more research throughout the fall. And I'm going to use this pilot group to really learn more about what they need. Laurel's going to be a part of that. I'm going to facilitate every call, but I'm going to have other people, other speakers, my age as well as their ages, to talk about multiple topics around vision, time management, money management. What are some of the other things that you think we heard over the summer that we were relationships,
well,
isolation,
and even kind of just the lifestyle that a lot of people want. I think even really figuring out lifestyle and work-life balance, I think that can really lead people to figuring out a career that fits them better,
right?
Which, in turn is kind of a snowball effect of finding something that they're actually passionate about. I think a big piece of leaving college is a lot of us don't really know what lifestyle we enjoy or what really fits, or a balance that works well with us. And even finding that routine that makes sense for someone is really important.
Right. So if you haven't checked it out already, you guys, even though I'm saying this program is geared towards young adults, I have come to realize after talking all summer to the young adults with their parents along, that I'm also talking to you parents and people that young adults that could use this right now, to not only encourage them to get registered today, but you may want to do it with them. I have some families that are all signing up together, some other daughter teams coming in together. It's one of those things that it's not just for me saying, hey, I want a bunch of 25, 26-year-olds in there. I really want to talk to the adults that are my age that have these people in their life and get this message out, get them signed up with them. If you go to my website, hey, Danelle, how are you? So nice of you to hop in here. If you go to my website right now, and we'll post the link later, it's just careyconley.com. Go to where it says Work with Carey, and what you see are drop downs of several different programs I offer. And one of them is Vision is Victory, VIV Academy. And there's a 1-ticket price, there's a 2-person price, which is the better deal. There's also a couple of tickets on there if you wanted to just buy a ticket and allow me to scholarship somebody in with the charity that we are aligning with. And you can see information about that too on the website. So yeah, we really want to fill this class up, and I'm going to limit how many people will be in it. So you want to register today. It's only $97 per person, and it's 2 for $147. I'm pretty much giving this pilot program away because I truly want to use this as, filtering the information and getting feedback and seeing how we can improve upon it. All right. So a couple great things. Book launch coming, several dates. Yes. November 11th is the day you can actually either come to the big launch in Arizona, but that is the day it will go on sale. And then we'll go to Denver 11-18, Oklahoma City December 2nd, and then California December 9th. So I hope you guys will follow along with that. And yeah, please share out Viv Academy, and let's get a really good, healthy young adult and maybe their older parent group started.
And one thing that would be fun and super easy for you guys to do is to comment on this video what you're most excited about when reading this book. That was a horrible sentence, but you get what I'm saying. What are you most excited about for this book, or what do you feel like is going to be most impactful for you? I think that's going to be such a cool part for us, is to hear the stories, or what was really relatable, because we tried to keep that in mind, but it's going to be different for everybody. So we'd love to hear what you are excited about.
Yes, and so many fun people hopping on. Thank you guys so very much. And Angel Tessie, okay, so just a little reminder from Angel Tessie is our PR and media expert and agent for the next 3 months. So while we are doing these book launches, we're also lining up a lot of interviews with the media, the local TV stations, the local news stations, local printed publications. So if you have any connections to any of those, Laurel and I are going to spend time in each city the day after, doing back-to-back tours to get the word out and get it some massive exposure. So thanks for the reminder, Angel. And thanks you guys so very much. Yeah, we would love to hear what you're excited about around this book. And we hope that it's going to be the impact that we wrote it with, the passion we wrote it with, that it'll make the impact that we want. All right. So,
sure.
All right, you guys, thanks everybody for hopping on. Lots of fun people. Hey, Janine. Hey, Bob and Karen and Carol, Aunt Marianne, our fabulous Aunt Marianne. We love you.
Hi,
Emery, how are you? So thank you guys. We appreciate you hopping on a little bit earlier with us today and letting us talk more about what's happening. Have a great day.